What's going on, guys? I need to make this video because there's a lot of traders who are struggling right now, and it's not just in my own community. I'm seeing it on social media. I'm seeing it in other outlets. But one thing that you guys need to kind of understand is that the market goes through these periods of what is called distribution. It's called consolidation. It's called chop. Very, very frustrating times in periods in the market. Now, each and every single day, regardless, of we're in a bull market cycle, a bear market cycle, or a period of consolidation, the market is going to remain open, meaning it's going to be moving up and down on a day in and day out basis. However, when there's no clear direction, there's no clear trend, there's no macro, kind of view, right? Where the market is screaming higher or screaming lower, even though that the market is moving up and down on a day-to-day basis, or the stock or the option or the futures index that you're looking at is moving, it's necessarily not really going anywhere. And it's in periods of time like this is when there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of people who are blowing up accounts, there's a lot of people who are feeling like they're realistically at their wits' end where they want to quit. And the simple truth of the matter is if we look at this NQ chart, which is the NASDAQ 100 as a whole, the last 11 days are going sideways, guys. If we really look at the last major kind of pullback that we had, right? And I was to kind of highlight this zone here, going all the way back to September the 21st, 22nd. Look at what the market has been doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. This is 2 trading weeks. So if you have felt that within the last couple of weeks that you've had a tough time trying to hold runners, a tough time getting stopped out, a tough time making any money the past couple of weeks, this is why, right? And what I need you guys to kind of understand is, of course, this day we're a little bit green, then we sell off. This day we're a little bit red, then we push higher. This day is just a complete sell-off day. This day pushes lower, looking for continuation, then bounces back up to the upside. This day starts off pulling back. Maybe you get short and then you get trapped. This day takes out a previous day's high, goes all the way up. Looks like we're going to get ready to break out and then pulls back, stops you out. This day, same thing. We've been in a distribution pattern, guys. This is a classic form of consolidation. Now, the move coming out of this is going to be a big one, okay? Or the move coming down below it is going to be a huge one, okay? So whether we break to the upside or the downside, that's going to be the next short-term kind of cycle, the next short-term trend that you're definitely going to want to make majority of your losses back and or put yourself in a very good position moving forward. Now, even though that the market is open, even though the market's moving up and down, you're finding trade setups that, maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago worked and made a lot of money on, or had some successes on that are not working. Your position sizing is too big. You're snatching runners too soon. You're cutting profits too late, and or you're allowing yourself to get fully stopped out, but the wins are not compensating and overriding the losers, right? What you really need to do, in all honesty, is be an adult, okay? Be an adult. Understand that this happens. Understand that it doesn't mean that you're a bad trader. It doesn't mean that whatever strategy you're using sucks. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing, in a sense to where you're never going to be able to figure this out. Because if that's the case, you're going to bleed yourself dry. You're going to exit this market in a fashion that you would not like to exit the market on. So what is my best advice? My best advice would probably be right now to size down all the way to a bare minimum. My advice would also be to, if you're holding a runner, use break even as a stop. If your trade setup fails immediately after entering it within the next 5 to 15 minutes, just cut the trade and don't expect it to come back. If the market looks good long and then the next day ends up selling off, don't be opposed to flipping your bias. If the market looks good short, right? Like let's say for this example here, the market looked great short for a continuation down and then bounces. Don't be upset and don't not switch your bias. If the market confirms a previous day low and you jump short and get trapped, doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. Flip your bias, find another setup to the long side, take your profits, size down. This game is very, very challenging, guys. If it was easy, right? If it was truly that easy, anyone would be able to walk into this market, make $100,000, $1 million, and walk away. It takes money to make money in this business, one. So if you don't have money, you need to find money. If you don't have a skill set, then you need to save money. You need to work a second job, a third job. You need to, do whatever it is you need to do to be able to have the capital. If you have the skill set, I would say go out and get funded through a prop firm. If you don't have the skill set, I would say invest and learn in a skill set to be ready, so that when you either produce the skill set or have enough money to trade, you can trade. If you try to enter this market with $500, $2,000, and you want to quickly flip that, the market's going to either give you a bunch of profits, give you a false sense of security and hope, and then it's going to take it all away from you. Or it's just not even going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and it's just going to take the money from you as soon as possible. So again, there's a couple of things that you can do. I would definitely recommend taking your time. I would definitely recommend to size down. Again, I will say it until I'm blue in the face, but the majority of people do not want to listen. The majority of people want to think that they're smarter than the market. The majority of people have a couple of wins and then they size up because they feel like they're losing out on money. The longer you continue to do that, the more you're going to continue to lose. I will be the first, YouTuber, the first coach, the first mentor out there that's going to tell you, you will probably lose all of your money if you don't tighten up and do what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. That's the God honest truth. If you want to sit here and you want to act like the market owes you anything, you will be corrected very, very quickly. If you want to sit here and kind of do your own thing and try to, scalp this candle because it's green and sell when the candle turns red. Yeah, maybe you win $200, $500 on this trade, but the market will take it back very, very quickly. If you do not know what the hell you're doing, you are going to get destroyed. If you have a weak mentality or a weak emotional state of being, meaning that you can't accept the fact that the trade setup looked good and you lost on the trade, you will be corrected and you will be eliminated from the markets. If you want to stay in this business, losses are going to come with this business. If you're going to complain about the losses being bigger than your winners, you're sized too heavy. Where that when you are taking these losses, you can't emotionally stomach the losses, but yet you have this dream, this fallacy of when you win, that's okay. It's okay to win 500, but it's not okay to lose 500. You're sized too big. If you don't believe me, you don't want to listen to me, fine, go lose all of your money. I don't care. Because you know what? At the end of the day, no one cares if I lose money. No one cares if I win money. No one cares if this guy makes money. No one cares if this girl makes money. No one cares if you lose money. And no one cares if the next person loses money. No one gives a flying, you know what, if you win or you lose. So stop trying to be smarter than the market. Stop trying to think you know everything. Understand your mistakes that you're making on a day in and day out basis and work on the discipline. If you have no discipline, you have no self-control, you will fail. I will say it again. If you have no discipline and you have no self-control, you're not going to be here too much longer. I don't care how bad you want it. I don't care how many hours you've spent at the charts. I don't care how much time you're investing into journaling your trades. If you have no discipline and you're oversized, you won't be here much longer. I've seen it happen during 2020 and 2021 during COVID. I've seen it happen in 2022 when we went through a bear market, and I'm seeing it happen again. You, my friend, will not be here next year if you don't own up, accept your mistakes, and hold yourself accountable. Well, I'm doing everything right, but I'm losing more than I'm winning. You're sized too big. Well, I'm only trading 2 contracts, play one. Well, I only made $30, but then I lost $100 playing 1 contract. Okay, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. If you're going to lose, and sometimes you take a loss of $100, but you're taking profits at $30, but technically you could have held it longer and the trade would have worked out to be a $100 winner, That's your fault for not holding the trade longer. It's not my fault. It's not the market's fault. It's no one's fault but yourself. Hold the runner until full potential or stop out. Hold the runner until full potential or stop out. What's full potential? Use a 5 SMA on your charts, trail your entry. So if you get into a trade and the trade's working in your favor, if it closes above the 5 SMA, get out of the trade. If you get into a trade and it's still trading below the 5 SMA and you're trading short and you get out of the trade and it continues to run another 50 points, another 100 points, and you're going to sit and cry about not capturing the full move, whose fault is that? Is that the market's fault or is that your fault? Hold yourself accountable for the things you're not doing on a day in and day out basis, or you will not be here. I hope this video helps somebody out there. Again, I feel like a lot of people are having a tough time right now, and people are looking for excuses. They're looking for sympathy. They're looking for some type of answer other than internally figuring out what they're doing wrong. If your wins are smaller than your losses, it's because you're not holding the winners long enough. It's because you're getting so attached to making this quick money that you're snatching the profits, and then it's continuing to go in your favor. But yet when you lose, you're getting stopped out at full max pain stop out. Does that make sense? Right? How do you make that adjustment? It starts up here. If you can't make the adjustment, you're going to have a very, very tough time in this business. What does it really take? I'm going to make another video on what it really takes to kind of hold those runners, because there's levels to this as far as wins and losses in your account size, your position sizing, that need to be walked up in very, very small increments. And a lot of people do not want to walk their position sizing up in increments. They want to just jump to where they can make money. They want to just jump to where that feels good. Of course, making $400 or $300 a trade feels good, but does losing $400 on the opposite end feel good? If the answer is no, then you're not ready to make $200 or $300 or $400 a trade. So you need to start off, and even if it's making $10, if you can make $10 and lose $10 based on your position sizing, and that feels okay and it's boring, and you've been doing it for a while, then move up to $20. $20 here, $20 there. If that feels okay and it's comfortable, you move up. You gradually have to increase it. So again, for any one person, I would say that a loss between $50 and $100 should not really feel like a lot. You should not get too emotionally damaged on that type of loss between $50 and $100. And I also think making anywhere between $50 and $100 is pretty sufficient in the very beginning stages. You have to do that until it's so comfortable to where now you can size up. Now, does that mean that sometimes you might lose $150 on a trade? Sure. But sometimes you also might hold the runner and it's 3 days later and you're up $300 in a trade, right? So focus on what needs to be focused on. Understand that the market is not really doing anything at all. So if you're not really having too much success, well, either is the market. The bulls are not having success right now, and the bears are not having success right now within the last 2 weeks. And it's clearly obvious on this chart that nobody here is winning. Nobody is winning. The bulls are not winning. The bears are not winning. So if you're not winning, how do you expect to have anyone feel sorry for you when the overall market as a whole is not winning or losing either? The only people who are really profiting right now are the ones who are disciplined, the ones who understand their emotional tolerance, the ones who understand their position sizing, and the ones who are going to accept the fact that when they're wrong, and they're going to also accept the fact that when they're green and they can take profits and they have the self-discipline to stop trading on the day, they're going to stop trading on the day.